guys doing?
We're doing all right. Jimmy, how are you, brother?
Good, man. Where you at tonight?
We're in my backyard in Keller, Texas.
All right, all right. How's it nice and hot there like it is here?
It is nice and hot. I'm about to go inside real quick and grab a sweat rag.
Right on. Me too. So
I'm sporting a little
nice
Philadelphia
El Padre today.
All right.
Yeah.
Got a little El Santo going.
Little El Padre for me.
All right.
And we're doing a little Pinot Meiomi, Pinot Noir.
All right. And I think I got a little, what is this? Confidencial Tinto Red from Portugal. There you go,
brother.
Perfect.
We got our Eagles cups going too. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to send this back to the homies back in Philly, South Jersey area. Go Birds.
Yeah, well, I got this here. B on my hat for a reason. It's Boston Red Sox and Yankees baseball weekend right now. They still can't catch us even if they win this weekend.
That's it. Yeah. It's all.
Okay, Jim's going to try to
turn it up a little bit.
I couldn't figure out how to get it to go on my phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the volume's all the way turned up.
That's better.
How's it now? It's okay?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a little bit better.
There you go.
All right. Sometimes I get volume problems on my phone. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We're going to introduce you. So we got Jim and Raymond here from Providencia Cigars. It's a young cigar company with a fantastic story to tell. So I'm going to hand it off to Jim. You can talk about your story a little bit, and then we'll talk about your cigars.
Absolutely. Well, welcome, everyone. It's glad to be here. Thanks, Jimmy, for the invite. And my name's Jim Faber. I left for Honduras in 1997 with an invite to go on a mission trip. Had never really been out of the country, and left on a mission trip for a couple weeks. A couple weeks turned into 15 years. While I was there, I got invited to try out for the local pro soccer team, and to my amazement, made the team, and really just used it as a resume builder. And so decided I was going to come back to the United States, sell everything I had, and move down to Honduras for a year, learn the language, build it on my resume, and, come back to the United States a year after that and, get a job. I was just out of college. And little did I know 1 year was going to turn into 15 years of my life. Ended up meeting my wife, been married, had 2 children in Honduras, and one child. We have 3 kids. One of them we adopted, who years later I found in a trash dump. And we fostered her for a while and ended up eventually adopting her. And anyway, my life goes on and on and on and on, Jimmy. But that's kind of how I fell into the cigars. I mission through soccer, traveled the country, met so many great people. The Honduran people are wonderful. And, I was in the city of Danlí doing some mission work and also playing soccer, and found out that the big export of that city were cigars. And a friend of mine said he knew a cigar factory owner, and I got an invite to tour a cigar factory, and met Javier Mendoza, who was at the time the general manager for Racy's Cubanos, who now make Alec Bradley cigars in Danlí. And Javier was kind enough to introduce me to the world of cigars, took me in kind of as a little brother.
This was 2000, right?
This was, in 2000. And, I smoked my first cigar with him and almost died. smoking the cigar. But he laughed at me. I smoked a light cigar, hardly got it down, but little by little, my palate got introduced to some different flavors and some different notes and some incredible Honduran tobacco. Javier eventually invited me out to his property. Owns over 300 acres in a primo place in Honduras to grow tobacco, and it's called Trojes, 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 Honduras. It's right on the border. Trojes, absolutely gorgeous. Right on the border of Nicaragua and Honduras, sits on the mountain valley overlooking Ernesto Plasencia's land in Nicaragua. You can actually look right into Ernesto Plasencia's land. I mean, that's how close we are. He's one of the biggest growers, if not the biggest grower of tobacco in the world. And that's where the land sits. And he taught me from A to Z, you know, how you grow it, how you store it, how you age it, how you blend it. And Jimmy, I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. And I'm saying like 3-4 years later, he said, you know, why don't you start your own blend? I'll help you. And I kind of giggled and laughed. And I said, what do I know about cigars? You know, only whatever you taught me. And he said, you know, you never know. You might move back to the United States someday and make us both famous. And, you know, I took him up on the offer about a year later. And we started blending. He taught me the art of blending, which I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. But I really give all the credit. He taught me everything, and my palate grew over the years. And about 30 blends later, we came out with what you and Ray and I are smoking right now, which is the Providencia line. And yeah, it's become a great hit amongst friends and family members.
One of our friends is online now. Tony, what's up, Tony?
What's up, Big T? And yeah, we're enjoying it. Romeo's online. Love you, Romeo.
Romeo, stay smoky, my friend.
And yeah, we're having a blast. Really, we're enjoying. I'm telling you, the cigar world, they're the greatest people in the world.
We've only scratched the surface as far as meeting people.
Yeah.
It's only been a year. We came to market in June of last year, so we just celebrated our year anniversary in regards to being in shops. Like Jim had mentioned, he had been working on the blends for 10 years. What he left out, and I'm sure he'd get to at one point, so he kind of told you the background of how he met Javier and the process of him being acquainted with cigars. And we go from seed to finished cigar. We're completely vertically integrated. So Jim said Javier owns the land, he owns the drying barns, he owns the factory in Danlí, which is about an hour and a half down the mountain. So everything stays within Javier's careful hands, I guess.
Yep.
Nothing leaves
Our control.
Yeah, and what's one of the things that's unique about us is that we grow our own tobacco. We're not subject to you know, the leaves and the tobacco that's on hand from the larger factories that other manufacturers are subject to and have ability to. We grow our own, so there's never ever an issue with the quality of the tobacco or the quantity of the tobacco because we control that ourselves.
So as
one
you
of
know,
the things that Jim left out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said,
no, I was going to say one of the things.
El Padre and the El Santo, both of which I think are phenomenal cigars. Padre right now is getting nice sweetness. And one of the things I noticed is in your story, you were down there for a mission. And a lot of people always ask about names of cigars, how you come up with the names. So El Padre, El Santo, all related back to a mission, back to my father, my saint. Yes?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it was very important to me. The Honduran people gave me so much. They taught me so much. The daughter that I adopted from there is just absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. I can name 1,000 people right now that touched my life, and I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours on end about how much the Honduran people did for me. And not only that, what God did for me, protected me all those years, and had really, really, really close run-ins. It's one of the most dangerous countries in the world to live in, and especially as a gringo, as a white guy. You're an outsider. And, I just wanted to give back a little bit to God and thank him for saving my life, really, and allowing me a second chance. And so the first cigar that we came out with was the Saint, and the second was the Father. We just give homage to the Lord. Thanks for us. And in fact, we're coming out with our third blend in September, October timeframe, which is going to be called the Trinitas, which is the Trinity. And so that'll come full circle. We just first wanted to thank the Lord for helping me.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that
So I'll tell my followers and your followers, I have just recently smoked the Trinitas, and it was on par with your other ones. It is going to have a nice review coming out. I'm glad I got all the background information. We'll get a little more from this show, and I hope everybody's going to enjoy it when they see it, and hopefully when they get out on the market, they'll scramble. But how is it now? So I always ask the question because here we are in a post-FDA world. Things are struggling with small manufacturers like yourselves. So how are you addressing that? How is that affecting your business and getting your brands
but I think you
to the market?
Cut out a little bit, but I think you asked how we were addressing it. Yeah, you've been cutting in and out just a bit. Yeah, we're working with a great partner, Andrew Wood, who you may know, and a number of your viewers may know. Andrew is tied in with the FDA. He's actually submitted some statements that some attorneys are using in the fight with the FDA. He's our importer, and he's also he's done all the filings for us. All of our blends have been properly filed. We're moving full steam ahead, and the Trinitas will be a very limited offering. We're only doing 4,700 cigars, so we're doing 200 boxes of 10 and a beautiful, beautiful gift box, and we're gonna have support that. So that's we're hoping that they're a hit. They go quickly. Received. Regular offering alongside of the El Padre and the El Santo. And then on top of that, we have two other cigars teed up. The Trinitas is a Triple Ligero. The other two cigars are also with the Trinitas has a San Andreas. The other two Triple Ligeros that are teed up, island of Ometepe. So the Ligero leaves are from the Nicaraguan island that's in the Lake Nicaragua, the volcanic island. Ometepe, the Ligero leaves will come from. So that'll be a special one for us. And the third one is we're kind of keeping under wraps right now. But
not a secret.
But it's already done. So, and we're in front of all of that. Paperwork for those blends. And like Jim said, we trust in the Lord, and we're praying that he'll protect us and he'll work with Andrew and give Andrew all he needs in order to file everything correctly, and things will go in our favor.
How many shops are you in now?
Yeah, that's good. I didn't count today, but we should be somewhere around 25 shops. About a third of those are in Texas, and the rest are in different parts of the country. I saw earlier Peter from Millville, New Jersey, the Royal Leaf. What's up, Peter? I wore this shirt today just for Texas. I hope you can see it. So we have a shop in New Jersey, our first shop in New Jersey, the Royal Leaf. We have a shop in West Palm Beach, Florida. We have a couple of locations in Colorado. Two shops in Michigan. So yeah, we've been able to have some friends, take samples in for us and some of our materials and have the shop owners smoke them, and and they've been a hit with them. So we've been able to get out of state with very little effort. And in my prior life, I would always travel with cigars and literature and seek out shops while I was on the road to see if I could drum up a little bit of business. So 25 shops in 11 months. And yeah, that's just really been Jim and I. We've been self-distributing since June of last year, but we've just brought on, and those that follow us will know that we've just brought on 4 brokers, Howard in Houston, David in Wichita Falls, Texas, Mike in California, and Mike, Pizza Mike, is going to work the Midwest for us. So those guys just came on a few weeks ago, and we're hoping that they'll be successful, and maybe by the end of the year we'll be in another 20 shops or so. Our expectations, I think, are, within reason. Somebody asked me today, how you guys doing? I said, we get out of it what we put into it. The more time we invest, shops we get. So we're going at a pace that seems to fit with our lifestyle.
Yeah, I have a full-time job. I'm a school teacher, soccer coach, and I'd love to quit one or both of them eventually and do cigars full-time, but unfortunately it doesn't pay the bills yet. But that's our goal. We're just having fun with this, and we want to create a great product. We want to create something that people like and enjoy and we can be proud of. So we're really in no rush. Unfortunately, the FDA, with their laws, and hopefully that'll all go away. I know you and a million other cigar smokers around the United States are praying that whole thing goes away. But you know what? If it does, it does. If it doesn't, that's out of our control.
Right.
And we're having fun. We're enjoying what we're doing. We're enjoying the people that we meet. We're enjoying meeting people like you, Jimmy, and it's just all about creating a great product and enjoying it.
And when it comes to the FDA and comes to business, I always tell folks, the government's going to do what the government's going to do, but when they put up a roadblock, business will find a way. They'll figure out how you get around that, how you go around this, all within legal bounds. There's always ways to work this. We've got lawsuits, whether we win or lose, we'll figure a way. It's not going to go away. People enjoy smoking cigars for various reasons. And I tell people also, this is a self-regulated business. We, the consumers, actually regulate our business. We're not going to let some kid walk into a shop and buy a cigar. We're not going to allow it to happen. All right. We take care of each other. We help each other. They should just understand how we operate. We're unlike the cigarette business and these cheap businesses. We are a premium business that sells a premium product, and they don't recognize that yet.
Agree. Well stated. Is there any background noise on your end?
No, I have no background noise on my end.
Okay, my pool filter just went on. So my pool filter just went on, so I'm trying to turn it off. One of the things that Jim did not get a chance to share yet, that I want to make sure that he does, because it makes our cigar, I think, that much more interesting when you smoke it to hear the story. So he mentioned that he worked with Javier for 10 years up until 2011. And the reason that he ended up leaving Honduras was a bit premature. When Javier joked with him about, maybe you'll end up in the United States someday and you can start a cigar company, Jim chuckled. He didn't realize that 9 years later, he would be part of a thwarted kidnapping attempt where he was held at gunpoint and forced into a car and was in the middle of being kidnapped when some of the local fathers of the soccer team that he was coaching caught wind of what was going on, but not before the gun went off, and one of the dads lost the tip of his finger, and there was blood everywhere, and Jim and the guys, Jim finally got out of the car, and the dads were able to subdue the guy, and Jim can kind of finish it off from there if we want to give the quick version from there.
Yeah, I started, I got real close to government and started doing soccer camps all over the city. and eventually became very, very close friends with the city mayor in a city called Comiagua, Honduras. And it was there that the mayor asked if I would be willing to reach out to a very dangerous gang in the city that nobody else could reach. It was the MS-13 gang. And they basically controlled all the drugs, all the violence, all the deaths, everything that went on in that city. And I took them up on the challenge. And, I was able to save a lot of the kids out of that neighborhood through soccer, and started a street school, street ministry, so to speak, that basically endeared the kids to get off the streets through the vehicle of soccer and the platform of soccer. And that school eventually became a very famous school in the country. And I was on television a lot down there. I became a pretty high-profile figure down there just because of all my influence. I brought a lot of mission teams down there, and that kind of put me in the spotlight. The cigars were in the background. I was just doing that on the side in the background. And as Ray said, it was there at the soccer fields some 6 years later after I started the soccer school for the street kids and gang members that's where they attempted to kidnap me. It was a Mexican gang that had moved into Honduras specifically for kidnapping, and they targeted me. They had me targeted for about a month, and that's where they tried to kidnap me and had me in the car at gunpoint and what seemed like an eternity, but I was able to escape out of the vehicle. I got some help, ended up putting the guy in prison, testified against him, but with my family. And so, that the cigars got put on hold for a while. And until I could come back to the United States, get my entire family here safe, and pretty much had to start my life over from scratch. And so it was a big hit, but thank God I'm alive. I have my life, and still have my family. Everybody was able to escape, no harm done. And, a couple years later, after I got my bearings in the United States, I got a job as a school teacher and a soccer coach. And, that's when, I invited my friend Ray and his wife Lori to help launch Providencia here in the United States. So we got all of our paperwork done and launched last year. So that's the short version.
Awesome.
Right there. Yeah.
So we got some comments coming in. Earl Joseph Edwards is saying, I will say this. I just started into cigars last year, and this brand is 1 in a million, folks. Promote small businesses and make Providencia one of your smokes today.
Wow. Thank you, Earl.
Thanks, Earl.
Love you, brother. Yeah.
It's been a fun. Enjoying an El Santo as he watches you, and here's to you guys. If anybody has any questions, Romeo says go Yankees. That's for Jim. I'm not watching the score. Anybody know the score? Because I'm watching this. But it's going to be a fun weekend, that's for sure. If anybody has any questions, chime in and ask questions if you want to ask Jim or Ray anything. We'll let them continue.
I'd like to just a few shout outs to some of the local guys here that have helped us launch the North Texas Cigar Society. November 2015, before we came to market, we had our samples. We had found out about that group. Right, they meet right here in Keller. They're about 50 members, but they can draw up to 150 people for events. Gerard Hannon, who was the president of that organization, became friends, and he introduced us to a number of cigar smokers and shop owners through that club, and we want to thank the North Texas Cigar Society and Gerard for that. We want to thank Taboo, Rob, for he was our first shop here in North Richland Hill. And then once we got one shop, it made it a lot easier. It's hard to get that. Once you get one, it's like you're kind of validated. Between that and the Fort Worth Star Telegram that they all.
Guys froze.
And then we had the Underground. Yeah, we had the Underground come in, Don and Mark, thank you guys. Pop Safari Lounge, Michael and Perry, Lake Worth Cigars, 3R Cigars. Who am I missing? Just local. Those are the guys that have been with us for the past year. And you know, without them and their support, so just a little shout out there. And then the guys that have taken a chance on us out of state too. That was very gratifying to be able to get, without any representation out there, without going in and physically calling on those shops, just sending a little pitch, you know, and asking the shop owner if they would give our, you know, try a few of our samples. And reviewers like yourself and Cigar Noise and Garrett at Smooth Draw and Craig Vanderslice at, I forget the name of his place, and Irv the Cigar Broker. All you guys have helped us and given us positive press, and we've been able to use all those things to help get that information, you know, kind of an independent standard, someone other than Jim and I talking about our cigars. So all that has really helped validate us, and we appreciate all you guys for all your help.
Awesome. And it's, you know, the best we can do, because we enjoy smoking, and we enjoy, all of us that are in the blog business, it is probably one of the most pleasurable things to be able to sit back. I smoke different cigars every day, and it's nice to just sit back, smoke something, sit down, write reviews, write notes. Hey, it takes time. I mean, I tell people, it's like, hey, you know, it takes 4 hours at least to put something like this together. And when it's done, it's so gratifying to actually people read it, they comment on it. It's fun. The whole business, business, whether you're in the manufacturing, the retailing, the media, it's so much fun, this business. The people we meet, like you said earlier, the people are absolutely genuinely wonderful across the board.
Yeah.
Years ago, I had an interview once with Lito Gomez, and I'll never forget his statement to me. He goes, Jimmy, this is a friendly, competitive business. And what he meant is that we help each other. We're competitive, but we help each other, because if you're successful at selling cigars, then the business is continuing to grow, and it helps all the business for that. And I believe that. I took that as a mantra going forward. I said, that is exactly what this is.
Yes.
We agree.
Absolutely.
One of the things I learned in Honduras was it's a very, very tight-knit community, not only in Honduras, Nicaragua, all the surrounding areas down there that grow their own tobacco. And, you know, I got kind of pulled into that family. You know, I was an outsider, but because, you know, I had 15 years of skins on the wall, you know, I kind of got pulled in as one of them, and kind of set me apart a little bit from the average guy coming down there just trying to make a buck and trying to start his own cigar. And but I will tell you that community down there is the same as it is here. They help one another. They trade tobaccos with one another. They're all about trying to help one another. It really, really is a unique family. And you know, I'm just proud to be a small part of that.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of fun meeting friends or making new friends. A lot of it's just been through social media. But we've been, you know, we have local events where we'll go and set up at one of our retailers and do a cut and light or whatever. And we'll have other local manufacturers that we've become friends with show up and support us. And we do the same for them. It's really been a lot of fun. It reminds me, I was in the video industry for 30 years, which was basically working for movie studios in their home entertainment divisions, which was taking their movies and TV shows on DVD and Blu-ray out to the retail market, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, wherever you bought DVDs or rented DVDs. And that business, this business reminds me a lot of that. Very close-knit group, always traveling in the same circle, seeing the same studio guys, pitching movies to retailers. It's very similar. And that was a really good community for me for 30 years. And then I just retired in December, which I don't think I shared earlier. So being able to get into the cigar business has reminded me a lot of the video business in that regard. So it was a nice transition for me to kind of get back into a tight-knit group of people that are passionate about the product that they're associated with, whether it's movies, whether it's cigars. And man, we've been fortunate. I think. I mean, we've heard a few horror stories, but we've not come across any issues at all, any unpleasant issues whatsoever in the year that we've been, on the market. But then, prior to that, we had been growing tobacco for 4 years. So we grew the tobacco in 2012. So the sticks we're smoking now are in their 5th year of aging. So we had all that process going on before we even came to market. So we kind of hit the ground learning along the way. And since June, we really didn't know the retail side of the business. So we've had a lot of help. And you mentioned yesterday, or I'm sorry, earlier, it's competitive, but it's friendly. We've not come across one other cigar manufacturer or rep or broker who has not been willing to help us. And that's meant a lot to us. We wouldn't be where we are. I mean, again, we're not all that, we're 25 shops, we're not killing
small,
it.
We're small peanuts.
But we're having fun, and, none of you guys have had to invest in us, and you've chosen to. And again, we appreciate it.
Awesome. So let's see if there's anybody else coming in. Jeff Walsh says, smoke him if you got him. David Johnson, looking good, fellas.
Hey, David, all right, one of our brokers.
It's awesome. So, well, all right. So I think we can pretty much wrap up. Awesome talk. Fantastic stories, as I told people, to learn about your brand.
Thank you.
I want to give a big shout out to, obviously all my sponsors, because without them, Stogie Press is non-existent. I always like it. I like all the followers that come on. We just continue to grow. I'm humbled when I look at the amount of views that come in, and it goes through like a stock market graph. It goes, and you probably see the same thing. It goes like this, and then it hits a base, and then it goes up a little, and it hits a base, and it never goes down. It just keeps growing over time. So that's all awesome. And it's a great business. We're all having fun with it. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate the time to talk to all the fans, both Stogie Press and Providencia. And hey, let's rock on. Keep it going.
Thank you. And anyone that's not had a chance to visit our website, just check us out at providenciacigars.com, and there's more information about the company and our blends. We also have, Jim and I have our own Facebook aliases, but the company also has, Providencia Cigars has a Facebook and Instagram, so we're always looking to build up that base. So if you guys are not friends of either Providencia Cigars on Facebook or Instagram, we would appreciate if you guys would go ahead and sign up. And Boston Jimmy, thank you, brother. And thank everyone for tuning in tonight.
All right. So this is Boston Jimmy out. Stogie Press. Peace.
Go Birds.